All right, I was a Shedeur guy over a Dylan Gabriel guy. I watched Shedeur run for his life at Colorado, and he was really productive. Are you surprised that Shedeur is backing up Dylan Gabriel?
I actually listened to your last segment, and I agree with you that the coach of the Browns, stepped out and said, I'm going to pick this quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, in the third round. And then, by the way, Shedeur is still available. We'll take him. Unless it was obvious, I think that, I think you're right. I think the coach of the Browns said, I put my name on him, and I'm going to give him an opportunity.
Urban Meyer couldn't hide it. The moment Shedeur Sanders' name came up alongside Colin Cowherd, the smirk, the sneer, the body language, it all screamed jealousy. Here's a coach who couldn't survive a full NFL season trying to downplay a rookie already outshining seasoned veterans. Analysts may write Shedeur off as just another rookie, but fans aren't having it. They're calling for him to start immediately, because this kid is proving he's exactly what they've been waiting for.
What's going on, world? So your boy Shedeur Sanders will be playing on Saturday against the Rams. Whether he starts or not, it doesn't look like it. Kevin Stefanski said I think they're going to be going with Joe Flacco, leading up to the season, because now it's time to prep him since he's going to be the starting quarterback. Urban Meyer's beloved coach, college coach, said they did Shedeur dirty. He said what he's seen out of Shedeur in college, he's an elite quarterback.
Here's the reality. Analysts like Meyer, and even Cowherd, carry a built-in bias against rookies, especially ones who don't fit their old-school ideals. They don't take Shedeur seriously. To them, he's just another overhyped name, another rookie destined to be humbled by the league. But that assumption couldn't be further from the truth. Shedeur isn't following the old playbook. He's not giving interviews for approval, and he's not relying on hype. Instead, he's doing something far scarier for his doubters. Letting his skills speak for themselves.
It sounds to me like it was real close. I also heard that part of your comments. So if it's real close, they're going to go with the guy that they spent all the time evaluating, drafting, and they don't want to be wrong. But they also have to win. So if Shedeur gets better and better, which I think we all agree he will, at some point, you could see that move happening.
I saw Michigan recently got some penalties, and you and I probably see this differently. The way I look at college football is that it used to be the sin in college sports was buying a high school player. That was death penalty. It's over. I mean, $100 handshake for a senior, you get a slap on the wrist. You can't buy a high schooler. Well, now that's just it's a cottage industry. That's what you do.
Urban Meyer, yes, the same guy who spectacularly imploded with the Jacksonville Jaguars, has no business criticizing how a rookie carries himself. The irony is hard to ignore. Meyer couldn't even survive a single NFL season without controversy, chaos, and embarrassment. Shedeur, meanwhile, hasn't even finished his first full season, yet his name alone makes analysts squirm. Why? Because he defies their expectations. They want to label him as just another kid with a famous father or a flashy college quarterback who won't adjust to the pros. But every time he hits the field, he shatters that lazy narrative.
Again, I thought he was a solid B prospect, crazy accurate, bad offensive line in college, no run game, and against good teams was always productive without a lot of mistakes. And yet he slid to the fifth round. And there's an argument, I don't know, sixth or seventh rounder undrafted, if not for Jimmy Haslam, the impulsive and meddling Cleveland owner. So how he is viewed by the NFL and the professionals there, who I respect and trust, and how he's viewed by everybody else, it's an incredible.
Colin Cowherd, for all his polished delivery and big stage swagger, still shows his cracks. He tries to praise Shedeur, only to undercut him moments later. It's the oldest trick in sports commentary: hype a player just enough to seem fair, then pull the rug with a dismissive line, so if they stumble, you look like a genius. But Cowherd is missing one thing: fans are watching closer than ever. They aren't buying it anymore. They see Shedeur for what he truly is, poised, mature, and a natural leader. You can't fake that.
You guys who love Shedeur and Carolina wearing his jerseys, you're making him into a celebrity. So if I'm a coach and I have to choose, okay, Joe Flacco is starting, Dillon Gabriel may be easier to deal with. You don't have to deal with the nonsense.
Let me show you something, in case you forgot. Because one thing we can always depend on is a temperamental, tantrum-throwing white man to get on this app, barely be able to pay his tithes, yet fix his lipo lips to talk about greatness.
While everyone else is busy talking, Shedeur sits back. He doesn't clap back at Meyer. He doesn't take shots at Cowherd. He doesn't need to. His response is simple: step on the field and let every snap do the talking. That's how a rookie shows true maturity, not through noise, not through seeking approval, but by letting the game itself shut down the critics. And it's working. You can feel the shift.
The Browns coaching staff must hate this dude, Shedeur Sanders. The guy had a pretty solid preseason debut.
No turnovers, he protected the ball,
And he made some pretty great passes for touchdowns. Shedeur did not look like a 5th-round QB in that game at all. And then this dude Dillon Gabriel proceeds
to throw 2 turnovers.
in his preseason debut. But we already know they're going to continue to keep him as the last QB on the depth chart. But I have a theory. What if this is all part of the Browns' grand plan? What if, no matter how good he plays in the preseason, they keep him at the end of the depth chart? But they do it so that they can light a fire under him. We've seen that he's the first one at practice and the last one out of practice. So him getting drafted in the 5th round already lit a fire under him. That's why he's been working so hard. And they continue to keep him at the end of the depth chart so that he could keep working hard. And he could be like, oh, they don't believe me?
Fans are making their voices heard. Scroll through social media once Shedeur hits the field, and it's impossible to miss. Browns supporters are flooding timelines with one demand: let him start. Nobody wants him buried at QB4 or stuck behind placeholders. They see what analysts won't admit: Shedeur has the tools, the composure, and, most importantly, the trust of the fans, something rookies rarely earn. This isn't hype, it's earned respect through talent and presence. Yet the disrespect keeps coming. Every panel, every analyst table, Shedeur is held to a harsher standard. That's where the envy from guys like Meyer shows. Meyer doesn't just see Shedeur, he sees a mirror of his own failures. The NFL doesn't reward coaches who act like kings, and sometimes, a rookie steps in and commands more respect than a veteran coach ever did.
Urban Meyers said that it had to be something else because the tape says one thing, and it must have been the interviews because the tape says elite quarterback. The national television programming of Colorado says elite quarterback. Let's see what happens with Shedeur this weekend. I think he's going to play lights out for whatever amount of reps he takes. He may take 10 reps. He may take 20 reps. He may do a whole quarter. What if they shock him?
And Colin Cowherd? He thrives on controversy, aiming to spark reactions, but when it comes to Shedeur, his safe dismissals come off more like insecurity. Fans are noticing. Analysts are cracking jokes, yet the people who actually watch the games are saying, enough. Give him the ball. Give him the team. Browns fans, in particular, aren't holding back. After seeing Shedeur in camp and witnessing his poise, a wave of support is rising, one analysts can't drown out. These aren't casual observers. They see a player who doesn't panic under pressure, who doesn't buckle under criticism, and who plays like he's been in the league for years. And jealousy? It's clear. Urban Meyer's comments proved it. You don't scoff at a rookie unless you're threatened by what he represents.
Ocho, this is what ED said. This is his full quote. I tell you this much. What I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told teams, don't draft him. Do not draft him. We're going to make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source. A very good source. But apparently, Shedeur had fallen much further than anticipated, and some league officials called the Browns and forced them to take him with the 144th overall.
Shedeur isn't just a player, he's a symbol of change. He challenges the old guard of football gatekeepers who try to dictate who deserves respect. Fans have spoken, and they've chosen Shedeur. And here's the kicker, the more critics dismiss him, the louder the call for him to start grows. Every analyst writing him off is unknowingly fueling his rise. It's a reverse effect in real time, trying to hold him back is only making his ascent inevitable. These aren't the signs of someone who needs time on the bench, these are the marks of a player ready to lead in offense today. And the Browns, of all teams, can't afford to waste that kind of talent.
If he would have fallen to the 7th round,
right,
the Steelers weren't drafting Shedeur Sanders.
Why?
Shedeur Sanders was not going to be picked by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whatever the evaluation was, whatever decision was made, he was not going to be the quarterback picked, drafted, called by Mike Tomlin over
because
time.
of talent? That's just further evidence something other than football tainted Shedeur Sanders coming into that draft. Because there's no excuse for him to fall that low, and there's no reason why on earth why a franchise like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's been starving to find a quarterback for years, Ryan Clark could come up here and say, even if it was the 7th round, they still wouldn't have picked him. That makes no football sense.
As much here what I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him, do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source, And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him.
Shedeur Sanders isn't just any rookie, he's the type who can turn a franchise upside down. But first, he has to navigate the critics desperate to label him. Urban Meyer can chuckle. Colin Cowherd can downplay. In the NFL, respect isn't given, it's earned. And Shedeur Sanders is already claiming it. The louder the analysts dismiss him, the sharper their double standards appear. Let's be real, if another rookie quarterback had his stats, poise, and command, they'd already be hailed as the face of the franchise. But Shedeur? He doesn't react. He doesn't play their game. While Urban Meyer sits reminiscing about college glory days that feel a lifetime ago, Shedeur is grinding, doing the work that actually matters.
He came up, he was like, nah, bro, that wasn't that you. I see how they trying to spin. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm not tripping, regardless of whatever it was. Nobody's words or anything affects me, you know? So, yeah.
Did you believe him when he told you it wasn't on you?
Did I believe him? Yeah. I mean, I feel like you're trying to start stuff now. I feel like you're trying to start stuff. I mean, he's doing his job. He's supposed to. Do I feel like he did? I don't know. And that's not on me to sit here and be like, oh, he did, he didn't. That's not going to change my life.
While Colin Cowherd drones on about why he isn't sold yet, Shedeur is quietly earning respect in the Browns locker room and in the NFL. That's what truly matters. Teammates know who can perform and who can't. You can't fake it around them. When offensive linemen start telling coaches, this kid can lead, that's when you know it's real. And according to reports, that's already happening in Cleveland. Fans, however, are cutting through the noise even faster. The Browns haven't exactly been a model of stability at quarterback, so they're not hyping just another rookie for the sake of it. They see real qualities, composure, accuracy, toughness, and command of the game. Scroll through Browns fan forums after any preseason performance, and it's clear they're not saying, maybe someday he'll be ready. They're saying, why not now? And the more national analysts push back, the louder the fans cheer.
Hey, Love Bugs. So they just announced it. Yes, Shedeur is playing on this weekend. Let's get into it. So we're not at all surprised at that little sneak drop yesterday with Shedeur in practice. So we were really anticipating that they were going to announce it, and yes, they have announced that Shedeur is going to be playing Game 3, the preseason finale for Cleveland. And I think this is so apropos because it's a segue to...
Callers are flooding sports radio, blasting hosts for disrespecting Shedeur. Social media is on fire with threads demanding he get a real shot at QB1. And then there's Urban Meyer, whose jealousy couldn't be clearer. A man who couldn't control an NFL locker room, lost players in weeks, got tangled in off-field scandals, and became a punchline almost instantly. Colin Cowherd, by contrast, plays it safe. He dangles praise for Shedeur but always hedges, reminding viewers he's improving. It's careful commentary designed to make him right no matter what happens.
Shedeur at this point says, look, what someone says is not going to impact, doesn't make me better, doesn't make me worse, what somebody has to say. I still have to go out there and do my job. And when given the opportunity, that's exactly what I'll do.
Mm-hmm. But he's been going through this for a minute, huh? This ain't the first time somebody has something to say about him. They've been digging at him for a long time. He's been prepared for this. He's been prepared.
Yeah, but normally the people that's taking shots at me ain't on my team. That'd be like the team. We.
If Shedeur shines, the compliments roll in. If he stumbles, the doubts surface. Fans see right through it, and that's why Cowherd's takes are getting roasted online. People are done with fence sitting when the evidence is staring them in the face. Shedeur has shown what rookies rarely do, patience with the process, while quietly demanding results on the field. QB4? He doesn't flinch. That mindset doesn't just wow fans, it forces coaches to pay attention. The fans want him. His teammates trust him. Even rival fan bases are starting to admit he might be the real deal. Meanwhile, the analysts keep holding out, and the longer they do, the more out of touch they look. It's only a matter of time before the Browns coaching staff feels the pressure.
Shedeur has had really one, I thought it was a good performance. It wasn't lights out. It's like he went out there and threw for 400 yards. I mean, he had a nice, solid preseason debut. I'd say it's a B+. It wasn't perfect. I mean, not every throw was perfect, but he did a nice job. And the thing we can say about it is he didn't fall flat on his face. You know, he looked like he belonged. He looked like an NFL quarterback. The numbers were fine. Threw a couple of touchdown passes, which were really nice throws. I mean, he made some baller throws in that game. Yeah, I mean, he did. So I came away from the game very impressed. But like, there's nothing that he did there that's going to make me think that he could be the starting quarterback week 1.
No, I didn't walk
or even did that even earn him the right to be the back?
Picture being Kevin Stefanski right now. On one side, analysts are warning that Shedeur isn't ready. On the other, the fans are roaring his name, and the locker room is leaning his way. When a rookie earns chance from the stadium, depth chart politics go out the window, coaches eventually have to cave. The Browns, more than most teams, know this better than anyone. Of course, analysts like Meyer and Cowherd will call it reckless. They'll argue a rookie shouldn't be thrown into the fire too soon. But ask Cleveland fans, they've been in the fire for decades. They're done waiting.
Shedeur Sanders will return to the field tomorrow as the Browns face the Rams in their preseason finale. Now, after a promising outing in Game 1 versus the Panthers, Shedeur was sidelined for Game 2 due to an oblique injury. In one game, though, Shedeur went 14 for 23 with 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, Canty, I heard you say Jackson Dart's your quarterback, but who will start more games this season, Shedeur or Dart?
I'm going to go with Shedeur Sanders because the New York Giants, from an organizational standpoint, seem committed to making sure that Jackson Dart gets a lot of seasoning before they put him into regular.
If Shedeur is the guy who can rewrite the story, why wait? The irony is delicious. The more analysts trash talk him, the more they're setting themselves up to be roasted when he proves them wrong. Every dismissive comment? Replayed. Every smug laugh? Meme material. That's the NFL spotlight for you. Once you doubt someone publicly, there's no erasing it. And Shedeur has all the motivation he needs to make those receipts sting. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie. He's the quarterback the Browns have been waiting for. Analyst jealousy? Irrelevant. What's even better is watching the narrative flip on the very people who tried to bury him. Urban Meyer thought he could throw shade and move on, but clips of his dismissive looks when Shedeur's name comes up are now being replayed, with commentary roasting Meyer for his own failures.
All right, black and white sports reporters. Well, I swear to you, I was not making another Browns video today. I had a New York Giants Jackson Dart video all lined out, had all my ducks in a row, just about to hit record when the Cleveland Browns done went and did this. They have announced their unofficial depth chart, and this is per the ClevelandBrowns.com website for their third preseason game versus the Rams. And to tell you that the Browns fandom, more specifically the Shedeur Sanders fandom, is crashing out on a new level. And I got to tell you, right now, this QB2 situation is a...
Fans can't stop laughing at the irony. A man who couldn't survive a single NFL season is now trying to downplay a rookie already outshining Meyer's entire Jacksonville experiment. The hypocrisy is glaring, and nobody's letting it slide. Colin Cowherd's careful balance takes aren't aging any better. Every attempt to hedge is immediately called out. Fans have even named the pattern, cowherding, the art of being half right no matter what happens. But with Shedeur, that tactic falls flat. This isn't just a rookie showing flashes, this is a quarterback whose composure under pressure makes the so-called safe QBs look rattled. Fans are saying what the analysts won't: Shedeur deserves QB1. Not in 2 years. Not after some drawn-out grooming. Now.
And now someone very credible has come out and state that the NFL intentionally didn't draft Shedeur, like we already knew.
What I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him, do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source, And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
Really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't gonna draft him either. They weren't gonna draft him.
That's Hall of Famer Eric Dixon. If you don't know about Eric Dixon, one of the first running backs to pioneer the NFL, the running back game, used to wear the neck brace, and he was a dog out. But someone called the Cleveland Browns from what he's saying and said, don't.
The Browns can't afford to wait any longer. Seasons have been wasted on safe options, veterans or stopgaps meant to steady the ship, but who only left the team trapped in the same endless cycle of mediocrity. Fans have seen this story too many times, and their patience has finally run out. They aren't calling for Shedeur out of desperation, they see something undeniable. His poise in the pocket, his ability to dissect defenses, his calm under pressure, it all screams QB1. And Cleveland, of all places, should know when it's time to stop playing it safe. The fan base feels it, the locker room feels it, and even the doubting analysts are running out of excuses. In a results-driven league, Shedeur is delivering what the Browns have been chasing for decades: hope. Real, undeniable hope.